Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the June Hangout. As usual, there'll be lots of chats, lots of questions. I'll try to answer a few of them, and I'm going to be looking through a beautiful game of Vasily Smyslov, and there'll be puzzles from recent games as well. And, well, let me see who's out there in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I can see we've got, well, a special greeting to Martin van der Hidde, who says he's in France on holiday, but he didn't want to miss the Hangout. Martin, fantastic. Let me see. And we've got Alain Laflèche in Montreal in Canada. Fantastic. And, well, lots of regulars. We've got Tim Worrell there. Hi there, Tim. And lots of others. And Hustler Boy says, namaste from the top of the world. Fantastic. So presumably, are you somewhere in north of India, maybe? Hello from Somerset. Big shout out to Somerset. Brilliant. Okay. Synth Cliff. That's a great, I like that handle. Synth Cliff. Nice stuff. Okay, I'm going to hit you with my first position if I can fish it up and get it on the board. Something nice and easy to start with, just to get you in the mood. Hello from Mexico. Hi, Mexico. Let me see. What have we got here? I hope this is going to work. Let's have a look. Oh, that doesn't look right, does it? Let's try this. Here we go. This position is from, hopefully you can see that. Can you see that? Not very well. No, that's not working, is it? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop that because that didn't work. Oh dear. Wait a second. I better organize this a bit better. Just a moment. Technical hitch. I am going to. Here we go. This one's going to work now. I'm quietly confident. There we are, your first position from the Hastings Masters Tournament between Harvard Ramstad and Marcus ter Steg. Beautiful names. Playing round 5. Now, what did Black play here and why? Black to play. There's somebody trying to piggyback on the back of this channel. Chess Life says he's also running a YouTube channel. Chess Life. Well, you've got your advertisement in now. And now I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you'll pick up a few tips. There we are. Here we go. Black to play. It's all gone very quiet. Maybe you're not seeing it. Who knows? Maybe you're just not seeing the right answer. I don't know. Black to play. Oh, yeah, we got a couple of answers. I'd like the whole variation, please. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to make sure that my door is closed. Just 1 second, because there's a little bit of a breeze here and it keeps banging. I want the exact variation, please. First move only will not do. Now, I'm back again. Fear not, team. I'd like... Synchronium 24 says this is testing. Yes, Boyan Maximovich. Boom! Well done. No, Boyan is the only one that's got it right so far. Queen here, check. There's only one move. And then Queen F3 is checkmate. A very easy one to start with. So hang on. Let me just stop that. Hopefully I'm back. There we are. Fantastic. Well done to all of you that got it. Of course, there are many, many strong moves in that position. But mating 2 is mating 2. It's always good to finish things off very quickly. I'm going to throw another one at you. They're going to increase with difficulty as we go along. So just a moment, let me prepare this. And in each case, I would like the exact variation. Very easy to guess. That in a game of chess, if you guess, then that's not good enough. You have to calculate precisely. So this is all about precise calculation, folks. I'm being very harsh tonight. Very harsh indeed. Let's try this one. Played in the 4NCL, which is the British team championship. Played on a very special day, the 5th of May. That's my son's birthday. And Matthew Turner against Ivan Cheparinov. Black to play Cheparinov, of course, very strong Bulgarian grandmaster. So what should black play here? Martin van der Hidde says, must be my holiday. Didn't see anything. Yeah, you're chilled. Just chill, Martin. Just sit back and relax. Just enjoy it. You don't listen. You're allowed to just watch while everyone else exerts themselves. Okay, we've already got a suggestion. We've got Parth Thacker wants to play Queen F3, Bishop G2, and then Rook H3. How you manage to flip the rook over the queen, well, that's magic. That's a beautiful idea. And Marc Boudreau wants to do the same thing. There's two of you. In fact, there's three of you. Unbelievable. Three of you with exactly the same notion of, well, there must be some kind of cosmic vibe that allows you, that has the three of you have tuned in together to play an illegal move. Brilliant. Okay, let's try something else. And we've got Halil Asmonoglu. There's more of you. There's more of you that want to do this. It's not just three of you. There's like five of you who all want to cheat, all want to flip the rook over the queen. Some weird cosmic vibe has got to you all. My goodness. And we've got Boyan Maximovich, a very cool head on this lovely summer's evening. He wants to play Rook H3, Bishop H3, Queen A1, and Queen G1. There we go. This is, of course, the best move. And then the rook in the corner is on prise. Now, how many of you actually spotted that? Not many, it seems to me. And the king moves up. And we start checking. And very soon, it's Checkers Matus. There we are. There aren't really many other variations. Well, yeah, that's about it. Well, we can throw this one in, but I think we can all do this one. Here, 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 and boom, for example. Well done. Well done to Boyan, anyway. Somebody was saying, what about Queen F2? Which doesn't look like a bad move, threatening a checkmate. However, if I check here and, oh no, it's not good. It's not good. White will escape, trading queens. That is a significant blunder from black. I'm afraid, no, that's not good. Okay, let's get out of that. Jump startation says only grandmasters are allowed to jump their rooks over other pieces. Good. Yeah, you're right. So, greetings to everyone. I know there are lots of people who are joining late as well. Just to say, I'm going to be looking through a few positions from recent games, just puzzle positions. And in a moment, I'll look at a beautiful game by Vasily Smyslov, an absolute classic that just shows what a player with a consummate understanding of chess he was. Okay, let me give you one more puzzle before we start looking at a bit of Smyslov's, maybe one or two more. Wait a second while I just switch the windows and get to the right position. Phil and Life says, question, if you'll indulge me, when are you doing another book review? Very enjoyable stuff, by the way. Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't done a book review for a while, and actually there are a couple of books that have arrived here that I really like. So I will be doing a couple more book reviews fairly soon. So thank you for prompting me about that. Thank you for that, Phil and Life. Ewan Wilson says, hi, I bought your DVDs on the Queen's Gambit Declined, and they were great. Oh, good man. This is the kind of feedback I like. You've cured my fear of hanging pawns. Thanks. No, I'm well delighted to hear that. You know, I always feel that one simply can't go wrong with the Queen's Gambit Declined. There's a reason why it's been played for hundreds of years, and the reason that it's still played in top-level chess. And I feel just from a practical point of view, it makes a lot of sense just to get your king to the side very quickly and to stake a claim in the center. What can be wrong with that? There we are. Okay, next puzzle. They're getting a little bit harder. Sonic Studio says, can you react to my YouTube channel live? I think I just did. What can I say? I don't know your YouTube channel, but I've just given you an advertisement. I don't know what it is. And you should count yourself lucky that I've even mentioned your name. Okay, here we go. Let me just get rid of that. And shifting things around. Screen share, And here we go, your next puzzle. It is black to play. Black at the moment appears to be a piece down. Barry French has a great question, actually. While you're pondering this position, Barry French asks, I'm not sure if the question is appropriately placed, maybe worth asking later, but what is, in your opinion, the biggest waste of talent in chess, as in player with most potential, who's blown their potential? Now, Barry, that's a superb question. But I might be offending quite a few people, actually, if I answer that too frankly. But let me think about that. I might find a diplomatic answer. We've got one answer, which is Queen D3 check and then Rook A2. That doesn't seem right, so I won't go with that. We've got Queen D3 check and Rook A1. We also got Rook takes D2. Well, let's just deal with Rook takes D2 first. I can take that, and then it's not exactly clear what comes next, so not that one. Someone wants to continue that with Queen B3 and then Queen here. Is this winning? Just a moment, I'm just picking through this. Is this any good? And if I play, I see. So here you've got this, although that's not completely the end, of course. White can struggle on there. And if instead here, then you've got Rook A1 check. And yeah, again, better for, well, should be winning for black, should be winning for black. Yeah, I mean, there's actually stronger than that. Yes, I can see quite a few of you have actually got the correct solution now. So the correct solution is actually or I should say the best way to play this is queen d3 check. Now, obviously, if queen c2, then that one wins a big fat queen, and that really is the end. And if here, then the best move is rook here. And we can pick up that rook. And, well, obviously, that is going to be the end rapidly. And what else have we got? King c1. Have I just dealt with this? I think I did. Yes, here, there, and queen d2. I mean, there are other ways to win. No, that's clear. But that's quite a nice one. I've got Barry French's question about wasted talent on my mind, and it's a really good question. I need to think about that. Let me see. There was another question somewhere. I can't remember what it was. Let me think about. The thing is, when you talk about wasted talent, there are quite a few players that have given up chess who went on to bigger and better things. But I mean, I'm not sure that's wasted talent. Someone that, yeah, to be honest, it's a really good question, but I'd rather not go there, because I could name some people and it would be too embarrassing. It would be too painful to name people. I'm just thinking of the English chess scene. So if you don't mind, Barry, it's a really good question, but I'm afraid I'm feeling in too diplomatic a mood to answer it, frankly. Alan Manage says wasted talent must include Bobby Fischer. Well, he fulfilled his. I think he fulfilled his potential. He became world champion and he beat everyone on the scene. So, I mean, in a sense, it's wasted because, I mean, yeah, it's very sad what happened to him in later life. Jump Startation asks, would you recommend How to Reassess Your Chess by Jeremy Silman as a good book for players in the 1300-1400 range? I would. I really like, I mean, I've said this on quite a few occasions on these Hangouts. I really like Jeremy Silman's books. I think they're well written and well researched, and they're well presented. And I think they're a good level. But with any chess book, you've got to put the work in. This is the thing. The door is still, I'm afraid I didn't shut it properly. 1 second. The door is banging with the wind, so I'm just going to prop it open. Right, hopefully that's done the trick. Sorry about that, folks. Martin van der Hidde says, on book reviews, just bought Applying Logic in Chess. Is this one of the books you'll review? I'm not sure. Have I got that? I don't think I have got that book, actually. So I won't be reviewing that one. No. I have Horus says Whiteskin probably could have been world class but didn't do much. I actually disagree with that. There you go. I was being diplomatic, but considering that you've actually named someone specific, I don't think he was that great. He's clearly a very talented chap in other directions. I mean, he was talented at chess, but no, if you compared with his contemporaries at the time, he wasn't as good as them. It's quite simple. Rawand Hamid asks, can you tell me what's the best thing I should do a week before an important tournament? I could give you a sensible answer, and I could give you a very silly answer. I would play some chess, play some chess with some friends. I would also just have a quick recap of my opening repertoire to make sure that I was kind of safe with that. I'm not saying learn a new opening, but just refresh your memory on the main lines that you play. That's important. Apart from that, you're not going to be able to change your strength in a week. So I think those are the most important things, actually. So be match fit, you're ready for that. And yeah, brush up on your opening repertoire. There we are. Let me see. I'm going to, before I show you the, actually, I think I'll show you the game, the Smyslov game now. So just bear with me while I just get that up on my screen. Just a second. I need to get it from the right database. I'm on this. Here we go. Just bear with me. So this game, I remember this at the time, actually. This is from the 1982 Interzonal in Las Palmas. Hopefully you can see it now. That's good. Let's just increase that. That's good. Player of the white pieces is Walter Brown. And Smyslov was black. Just before I go through this game, I'm just going to take a question here. Why am I in my shoes? Also, I live in Brighton. There aren't really chess clubs here. Could you recommend one in London that's good for players who aren't masters? There is. I'm sure there's a chess club in Brighton. Absolutely sure. Someone got in touch with me a few months ago and said that they played in a chess club in Brighton. So just do your research, I would say. You'll find it, I'm sure. Hustler Boys asks, can the Night Off be played without much theoretical knowledge at club level? Well, listen, you can wing it if you like, but of course you need a little bit of theoretical knowledge. If you want to be lazy, that's fine. It's your lookout, but you don't need a vast amount, but you do need some. And, there are good books and there are good DVDs to help you with that. It's up to you. Okay, listen, I am going to start this game. So Walter Brown, Mr. Six-Time, they called him, six-time US champion, playing with white against Vasily Smyslov, of course, world champion in 1957. Yeah, he beat Botvinnik, and then Botvinnik asserted his right to a rematch the following year. And unfortunately for Smyslov, he lost that match. Anyway, now it's the Bogo Indian. Of course, in this position, white can play knight c3, knight d2, or bishop d2. There are pros and cons to all those moves. a5 was something of a speciality of Smyslov. Basic idea is that this will improve black structure. G3 is the normal move here. And now black can play this in various ways. You can play d6 and e5 here. That's not bad at all. And indeed, Smyslov has played it like that. Or you can play with d5. And that's a very reasonable move. Actually, you can also play with b6 and bishop b7. That's another story. But d5 is absolutely acceptable. And here one does not need to take on c4 simply possible to castle here. But anyway, let's go with Smyslov's move. This was a system that he pioneered for himself, actually. I was amused to see a game of Korchnoi where he played Rook A6. This is very funny. I mean, this is towards the end of his life in 2011. And it went like this. And this is absolutely bizarre, with the idea that this is a very strong move. That's quite funny. So white has to play Queen B5. And now the queen's obviously in the line of the bishop, so this is threatened. And Rook B6 is a very funny game. It's not going to last long. And now the queen has to keep hold of the e-pawn. And the players drew by repetition of position. Very strange. Anyway, Smyslov played knight c6. And Queen d5. So I suppose the most ambitious move for white is to play Queen d3 here. But Smyslov said that he would just play like this and put the rook on d8. And in that way, try to exploit the fact that the queen is on a slightly odd square on d3. But queen takes d5. Played. But black has a nice pawn in the middle of the board, and it's a very familiar pawn structure. Bishop b6 is funny. When I was playing through this, I was thinking, does the bishop really need to go here? And there have been some subsequent games where black has played the bishop to f5, which was, of course, more accurate. But I saw some brief notes to this game that Smyslov had made, and he said, and I think we should trust him, a good move, strengthening black's center. So if Smyslov says that, I think we should trust him. The game went rook c1. So he's trying to use this pawn and in that way bring the rook into the game sometimes. Knight b5. Bishop takes. And king takes. Now, this is the first position where I'm going to ask you what happened next and why. And this is a very, very complicated position. I think, we're going to see a beautiful strategic game here from Smyslov. However, in order to play beautiful strategic chess, you need to have the tactics under control, and you need to be able to calculate very deeply in order to justify your strategic moves. And this is one of these positions. To get this next move right, black has to really calculate very, very deeply. As El Majuli says, there is a fork threat. Yes, bishop, knight takes pawn. So we have, for example, Why Am I in My Shoes, an extraordinary name, would like to castle queenside, which is a very tempting move. But in fact, white has an excellent response to this. So what is the response that white has? I mean, I think this is a very strong candidate, castling queenside. But in fact, white has a really strong move here. What is that strong move? It's all gone quiet out there. Knight e5, yes. Well done, everyone. Knight e5 is very good. And now black has a little problem. So after this, we can take that one. And here, knight's on priest, so we'll give a check. But this is actually very good for white. Now, this is potentially a problem. But in fact, we can take and just drop back here, and white has, well, probably a winning position, actually. It looks very, very strong. So there is a problem with castle's queenside. We have a couple of people wanted to play king d8 here, and I will come on to that. Any alternative? I mean, this is an interesting move. In fact, white is okay here. And rook c8 is possible. What would we play? Probably knight e5 again, actually. I think that's a strong move. Because after this, there's a threat here. And that's very difficult to deal with, actually. So, for example, here, well, I don't know. I mean, you can just take on e4, but actually we're trapping the knight. So coming back to this position, we've also got somebody else who wants to play Alain Laflèche in Montreal that wants to play king d7, but this is a strong move. This is a very strong move. And then, well, do we take here first, or do we, well, let's just, no, then that would allow knight e8, actually. So I'm going to be very brave and take here and take here. And that must be excellent for white, I beg your pardon. So in fact, the best move is king d8. This was played by Smyslov, but not an obvious move by any means. And after knight e5, you do have to have a good response to this move. So what do you play on knight e5? And this is what Smyslov had to work out, I think, a long time before he got to this position. And that's the really extraordinary thing. I mean, this is hard enough just here, but to work this out way in advance is really very special and shows what great understanding he had and what excellent powers of calculation. Bulenkirche, or Kirche, I'm afraid my pronunciation is probably awful. But Bulent, well done. Rook a5 and Frank Clemens. Rook a5 is the best move. Excellent. Rook a6, I should say rook a6 is also possible. Tim Worrell, well done. Rook a6 is also absolutely fine with the idea of bringing the rook to b6. It's a decent move. Rook a5 is the best continuation, however. And here, very interesting, what do you play on rook takes knight? Bulenkirche asks, can you turn the board, please? I always like to look at the positions from a white point of view. But do you know what? Just for you, I'm going to turn it. So, just to recap, rook takes knight. What do you play on this? Of course, this had to be worked out well in advance as well. Rook takes b5, yes, indeed. And then I do hope that you've calculated this one, because this is just the start of the fun. What happens now? It's all gone quiet over there. Is this a library? No, it's a fish and chip shop. Yes, indeed. But now what happens? Peace down. Well, in fact, Smyslov, in these, I mentioned that he gave a few notes to this game. In fact, in his selected games, the English edition, he annotated this briefly, and he just said, well, black has 2 pawns for a piece, and the rook and the knight in the corner doesn't look very good. Seems that black is doing fine, or something like that. It's still not 100% clear, but certainly black has the better chances there. But it's important. He would have had to calculate that way back. So recap. He's just played rook a5. And the game went like this. Knight takes, pawn takes. And the knight came back here. Okay, and now I'm going to throw it open to you again. What did Smyslov play now? Yeah, Martin van der Hidde in France, on holiday in France, says the bishop is also bad. Yeah, that's true. This is a problem for white, but this bishop here is blunted by the pawn on d5. It's true. So this isn't wonderful, but c5 has been recommended. And what if I take that? Nico Martin asks, in your opinion, do you think analyzing your own games is one of the best things to do to improve your chess, and how should you go about doing it? Well, you get a chessboard, a real physical chessboard, and you play through the moves, and you try to spot where you think the blunders are from both your opponent and yourself. Where you think you could have done things better, where you think you did things right, and write them down. And then if you've got some chess software, after you've written up your game, just run it by some chess software and see what it thinks of your moves. Try that. But yes, it's extremely useful. There's a call to play d4 here. Yeah, I think this is it's a bit premature. Doesn't look bad for white to me. The reason I think it's premature is that, look, the king is stopping the rook from coming into the game, and yet the position is opening up. So there's actually no need to open the position. Okay, we have two suggestions, one of king d7 and one of king e7. The reason Smyslov didn't play king d7 was because here, after this, he thought that this is a pain. Obviously, the rook can't take the pawn because of knight check. And that's why he played king e7, so that if b3, then he'd be able to hit the b pawn straight away without fear of knight a4. There we go. Deep. King e7 played. And now black has a very clear plan to attack the b pawn. And that rook is going to be very useful on the b file. And there's also the possibility to open up with c5. Now, when the rook can come into the game, then c5 starts to become a much stronger move. So this is the position. And Brown now played knight d1. And I think basically white is struggling for a decent plan here, actually. I mean, one thought I had was perhaps to open the position with e4 to try and get through to c pawn. But actually, black just ignores this and starts attacking, and can also bring the rook to b4. So in this position, Walter Brown played knight d1, and then there came king d6, and then f3. For those of you joining late, this is a game between Walter Brown with white against Vasily Smyslov, played in the Las Palmas interzonal tournament in 1982. And it's a rather beautiful victory. So c5 played. And that gets rid of that double pawn. And black is certainly better now. And this is an interesting moment. White is going to bring the rook across, so the king steps up the board. This is really wonderful. And makes room for the pawn to come to c5. e3 played. Right, you're on again. What did Smyslov play in this position? I'm actually slightly surprised at the move he played. We've got a suggestion for rook d8. Any other thoughts? Hans Gretel wants to play d4. And knight d7 suggested. Okay, so we've got 3 moves so far. So let's have a look at knight d7. And h5 suggested. 4 moves. Rook b8. 5 moves. I can see we're close to unanimity then. 6 moves, rook a8. Okay, h5. Let's have a look at that. Well, h5 certainly isn't bad because it prevents this, and it might be nice to advance a bit further, but it's more to kill g4. That's not bad. We have so many suggestions here. Somebody else just suggested c4. Let's have a quick look at that. Maybe. Don't know. I'd rather not commit that one at the moment. Possible. Rook d8. I quite like rook d8, I have to say. Rook d8 makes a lot of sense to me because this could be quite a strong move. What were the other moves? Rook b8, rook a8. Yeah, rook d8 makes the most sense to me. In fact, he plunged on with d4. Very interesting. You know, there are somebody wants to hang on. Let me just put that back. Somebody wants to play king c4. That's a great move. Best suggestion of the night. Can we checkmate it? Not quite. I was going to say a3, but that leaves the b3 square available. King c4, comedy move. I'm loving it. It's rubbish, of course, for many reasons. But anyway, he played d4. I think this is... Haas the Boy says, why not c4? Please explain, Danny. Well, if I put a knight on d4, how's about that? Let's put that there. And that feels to me as though white has a very nice foothold in the position. So that's why not c4. There we are. So d4 played. And it's very interesting that Smyslov played very energetically. He didn't give white a chance to regroup. Oh yeah, maybe that's a problem. Maybe after rook d8, he would go knight e2. That's possible. And be able to flip this knight round to here. That's one idea. Or maybe via c1. Anyway, he played d4, and it's an excellent move because it keeps white on the defensive. And here, brown should have played like this. And, well, black is better in this position because there are still chances to attack this pawn, but it's not so clear. But in the game, it went a3 check, mistake. And after this, the writing was on the wall. Bishop c4, excellent move with the idea of rook e8 and rook e2. And this is a killer. Brown was in time pressure. He was always in time pressure. Actually, strategy says d4 opens up the c5 with a white rook. No, that's why Smyslov closed it. You see, you gotta trust Smyslov. He knew what he was doing, and that knight came in there. Beautiful. So this clump of pieces, they protect each other. Absolutely beautiful. And now King A2. Remember, this is en prise. So after this, then Bishop B5 attacks this, and then you can take one of these pieces. Let's go back. Again, very well calculated by Smyslov, because you know there are some tricky tactics here, and you have to get it right. You know, we can all see that the king march has been a complete success, but it's still tricky. You have to make sure that the king is actually safe and that there aren't tricks elsewhere. Bishop D7 played, knight check, and in this position, Brown actually lost on time while playing King D3, but it is a completely lost position. So, for example, after knight check, if king takes pawn, then we can win a piece. Like that. And if, let me see, what else is there? Yes, after knight check, the king goes back. Well, one can actually just take on b2, but well, my machine tells me that this is the strongest move, just holding everything for the moment and maintaining the threat here and possibly that and possibly that and that as well. And black should be winning this position. Why am I in my shoes? Comments, he's effectively played down a rook as it's remained on h8. Yeah, it's true. You know, that was the final position. And he actually never moved the rook on h8. There was always the latent threat to bring this rook into the game. Just fantastic. But yeah, some key moments in that game, just coming back here. King d8, key moment. Had to calculate a great deal, and well, a few others as well. But I think this is also a very important moment. You know, we had 8 different suggestions here, I think. Absolutely not clear what to do, but Smyslov was very straightforward, very, well, as they say in German, zielstrebig, and he maintained the pressure. And that's a real practical skill to bear in mind when you're playing a game of chess. How do you actually maintain the pressure on your opponent? And you sense that, you know, if you're match fit. And he was obviously so experienced. And I've got to say, Smyslov was an absolutely charming man. He was such a gentleman. I bumped him a few times in various places, various tournaments. But the first time, no, not the first time I saw him. The first time I saw him was at a simultaneous display against some English juniors. I didn't play against him, but I was playing somebody else, I think. And he was just very calm and very kind. Second time I saw him was in London in 1983, I think it was. Yeah, 83, when he was playing a candidates quarter-final match against Zoltan Ribley. And he defeated Ribley, outplayed him, outclassed him, and he was in his 60s. when he did that. And his whole demeanor during that match was absolutely wonderful. He was just so calm. Okay, one tiny little incident. I remember after one particular game, he was walking through the lobby of the hotel where it was played in London, and um, he happened to bump into someone sort of walked by and they didn't notice he was there, and he bumped into them. But he said, excuse me, pardon, he said, pardon. I mean, just it's a tiny thing, but it just shows, for me, it said a lot about the man. Really nice guy. Tim Worrell says, I can't even say I'm a better musician than Smyslov. I heard Smyslov sing at a closing ceremony of a tournament, and he was accompanied by Taimanov on the piano, and it was fantastic. And he brought the house down. There was a standing ovation when he finished. It was a really moving moment, actually. It was brilliant. 1992 in Oviedo in Spain. There we are. Let me see. Martin van der Hidde says he's a piano player as well. No, he was basically a singer. He was a singer, not a piano player. You're thinking of Taimanov. Let me see. Fear Live asks, is that bookshelf composed entirely of chess books? You ought to do a colossal book review tour on the shelf. Do you know what? I think I probably should do. And yeah, that's they're mostly chess books, but that's a tiny fraction of my chess book collection. Excuse me. Atri Chatterjee asks, when's your next chess-based show? Excuse me. Next chess-based show's next week. I'll get my diary. Next Wednesday on chess-based. Jump Startation asks, I wonder if Smyslov preferred Picasso or Caravaggio. Well, he would be able to give you an answer. Probably Caravaggio, I would say. Riaz Ali asks, actually, who's the most famous player you've ever played? I appreciate famous is open to interpretation. Yeah, that's a good question. Don't know about that. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, apart from chess players, I don't know. Not sure. Hustler Boy, Ronaldo or Messi? Yeah, we should talk World Cup. Let me give you one more puzzle before we go. Let me just open up the windows. Oh, this is a good one. I think you'll like this. Or is this too difficult? Well, I don't care if it's too difficult. This is really good. I will only accept the correct solution right down the line. You need to calculate. I'm not interested in the first move, the first two moves. You need to get the whole thing. And if you haven't got it in the next 2 minutes, I'll serve it up at the next Hangout. There we are. There's a threat for you. Okay, here we go. Black to play. This is great. Played in the Oberliga Nord in Deutschland. Hannover against Lingen. Denny Ackermann against Milos Perunovic. Alexander Harris says, he played against the Terminator at the Arnold Classic. Ah, fantastic. Here we go. It's all gone very quiet out there. You've got precisely 1 minute to get this, or I'll dish it up at the next Hangout. It's gone very quiet. Yeah, this is not easy. This is not easy, guys. But it's really good. I really like this. We've probably got about 30 seconds to get this. And then I'm going to, if you don't get it, I'll dish it up at the next Hangout. Or maybe I'll do a separate video on it or something like that. Yeah, I'm afraid we've got to 8 o'clock. It's time for me to go. It's as simple as that. Tim Worrell says, I've got the first bit. Why Men in My Shoes says, is it black to play? Oh no, if you're only at that stage, no. I'm sorry. Sorry. Riaz Ali says, Mr. Peacock in the library with the candlestick. Excuse me. Time to go. You didn't get it. Time to go because my voice is giving out as well. I need a glass of water. I'm afraid none of you have got it. I'll show you soon. Yeah, excuse me, my voice has gone completely. So I'm going to wish everyone goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. More videos coming up soon on the channel. I'll be looking at the Grand Chess Tour games fairly soon. And if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, then do click subscribe to get a notification, and click on the bell once you've done that to get instant notification of new videos uploaded. And if you want to become a patron of the channel and get your rewards, you get extra videos in advance, and all kinds of things, then do consider becoming a patron of the channel and supporting our work. We would really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, folks. See you.